Welcome, wrestling fans, to this WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show, as I'm reviewing the Friday Night Smackdown from December 13th, 2024, and this Smackdown would be kicked off with Jimmy Uso as he comes out to the ring to address the WWE Universe about what's next for Big Jim, and he knows he's got to put Survivor Series War Games in the past and look towards the future, and he's got big things expected for Big Jim in 2025, including maybe a championship run. But then out of nowhere, we would see Drew McIntyre come inside the ring to attack Jimmy Uso, delivering a Claymore, laying him out inside the squared circle before security would come out to pull Drew McIntyre off of him, and general manager Nick Aldis would have to escort Drew McIntyre backstage, where we would see Nick Aldis yelling at Drew about, "What the hell is your problem? I invited you to Friday Night Smackdown to come have a conversation about possibly joining the Smackdown roster, and then you pull this stunt? What the hell's the matter with you? Go wait in my office." And then that's when we would see the general manager of SmackDown met by Bianca Belair and Naomi, as Bianca wants to know what's going on with the women's WWE tag team titles, and we would see bad news coming from Nick Aldis, as the general manager has to tell Bianca that she may have to vacate her WWE women's tag team championships due to Jade Cargill, her partner, not being able to compete due to injury. And we would see Naomi step up for Bianca, saying that she would become one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in Jade's place to help out Bianca if that's possible. Then the general manager of SmackDown would say he's got to run that up the flagpole to see if it's okay, but if it is, both Belair and Naomi better be ready to defend those WWE Women's Tag Team titles as early as next week if it happens. And that's the way we kicked off Friday Night Smackdown. Next on Friday Night Smackdown, we would see backstage Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton getting ready for her match in the Women's United States Championship Tournament against Michin, where she would be met by WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. And Jax would go on to say that, hey, once you're able to win this tournament, you've already cemented your legacy as being the first ever United States Women's Champion, which means you don't need that briefcase, kind of shoving off and shrugging off the fact that Tiffany Stratton has the Money in the Bank contract in that briefcase. And then we would see Tiffany Stratton say, "No one's gonna stop me, it's Tiffy time." And Candice LeRae would go on to say, "I'm sure you're gonna make all of us proud, and we can't wait to see it." And then next up, we would have our first match of the evening, as we would see Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank, go one-on-one with Michin in the Women's United States Championship Tournament. And we would see an impressive match back and forth by these two ladies, but Michin would get the upset victory over Tiffany Stratton, as she now advances to the finals at Saturday night's main event for the WWE Women's United States Championship Tournament. Congratulations to Michin, and now what happens to Tiffany Stratton after she lost this match on Friday Night Smackdown? And then we would see a video promo from DIY after they became the new WWE Tag Team Champions last week after their victory over Motor City Machine Guns, where we see Johnny Gargano delivered a low blow to his former friends, and they would explain why DIY turned heel and turned on the Motor City Machine Guns, as Johnny Gargano would tell us that at Cleveland, he would lose the WWE Tag Team Championships to the New Bloodline in front of his friends and family, and he promised when he came back the next week that he would do anything it takes to become champion once again, and him and Tommaso Ciampa did exactly that, becoming the new WWE Tag Team Champions by doing whatever it takes to win the match. Next, we would see a video promo of Roman Reigns, as he would tell us that it's been a rough year, that we ran everything back in the day before it all fell apart. After he lost his championship, then he would lose his bloodline and his wise man and lose his Ulafala. But he tells Solo Sikoa that 4 years ago, when he was crowned with that Ulafala by his father and his uncle, Solo's great uncles, that it was earned, and he was crowned with that responsibility by those two elders, not taken like Solo Sikoa did with the Ulafala. And we'd also see Roman Reigns go on to tell him that he was the man to lead this family and take on that responsibility, which is why they gave him the Ulafala in the first place, and that the only thing that matters is his family and his Ulafala, and he plans on getting that back from him with the responsibility that comes with it, as Roman Reigns challenges Solo Sikoa to tribal combat on Monday Night Raw, January 6th on Netflix. It will be Tribal Chief versus Tribal Chief, and Roman Reigns promises that on January 6th, he will take back his bloodline, and he will take back his Ulafala, and he will take back my respect, says Roman Reigns, and then the whole world would have no choice but to acknowledge me. What a video promo from Roman Reigns on Friday Night SmackDown, as we now know on January 6th on Netflix, Monday Night Raw, it will be tribal combat, as we will see Tribal Chief versus Tribal Chief. Solo Sikoa goes one-on-one with Roman Reigns. Then up next, we would have our next match on Friday Night SmackDown, as we see Carmelo Hayes go up against a new surprise opponent, which is one of the new members of Friday Night SmackDown. And to the surprise of Carmelo Hayes, it is Braun Strowman, as the monster among men, the big SOB, comes out to dominate Carmelo Hayes and get the victory in his debut match for Friday Night SmackDown. What a big victory for Braun Strowman, and welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. And then after this, we would see up next an interview backstage with LA Knight by Byron Saxton, as he asks if he's concerned about taking on Solo Sikoa later on tonight, especially after the beatdown that him and the Bloodline laid on LA Knight, Andrade, and Apollo Crews, amongst other superstars last week, as they were wrecking everybody in the SmackDown locker room, including LA Knight. And Knight would respond by saying that, let me talk to you, and he's gonna prove why he stays in his own business, and that because Solo Sikoa wants to get involved in LA Knight's business, well, now he's made it personal, and LA Knight is going to go take down Solo Sikoa. Coming up on Friday Night SmackDown, we would then see our next match of the night, which would be LA Knight going one-on-one with Solo Sikoa. But it would not be long after this match got started that we would see the Bloodline get involved, with LA Knight trying to fight back, but the numbers games end up being too much, as we would see a disqualification happen in this matchup when Jacob Fatu attacks LA Knight, and because of that, Solo Sikoa would deliver a Samoan spike to the middle of the ring to LA Knight, making a huge statement not only to LA Knight, but also to OTC Roman Reigns, who had a message for him earlier the night. But we would then see Andrade and Apollo Crews come out to try to help and aid LA Knight, but it would be no use, as the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa take them out as well. Then next up on Friday Night SmackDown, we would have our next match of the evening, which would be in the Women's United States Championship Tournament semifinals, where we would see Bayley go one-on-one with Chelsea Green. And man, did we see an epic back and forth matchup between these two ladies, and Chelsea Green would get the upset victory over Bayley, as Chelsea now advances to the finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament, and she will face Michin on Saturday night's main event. What a match on Friday Night SmackDown. And then up next, we would see a video promo from the Motor City Machine Guns, as they clap back at DIY for what they did last week, saying that Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, betrayed their friendship, and Shelly, who was once the teacher, will now prove why Johnny Gargano will always be the student, as Motor City Machine Guns look to get back their WWE Tag Team titles against DIY next week on Friday Night SmackDown. And then also next up on SmackDown, we would see a video promo from none other than the new WWE United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, telling LA Knight that he never deserved to have the United States Championship once again, and all that confidence was just a mask put over his face because he could not carry the weight on his shoulders. And Shinsuke Nakamura sends a creepy, dark message to anyone who looks to take him out and take the United States Championship off of his waist, as Shinsuke Nakamura is showing a dark side that we've never seen before. And look out, WWE Universe, as it looks like Shinsuke is here to remain champion for a long time. Next, we would then see Tiffany Stratton backstage after her loss against Michin in the Women's United States Championship Tournament semifinals. She would be consoled by WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, but they weren't doing much consoling, as Nia Jax said she's sorry that sometimes you're not just able to win the big matches, but hey, it's always next time. And then Candice LeRae would come with some big news for Nia Jax, saying that she talked to General Manager Nick Aldis and that those two will have an opportunity at the WWE Women's Tag Team titles next week on Friday Night Smackdown, as Candice LeRae will team up with the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, which leaves Tiffany Stratton out of this group, as it looks like Candice LeRae is trying to drive a wedge right in between the friendship of Nia Jax and Stratton. But Miss Money in the Bank would stare at her Money in the Bank briefcase after Candice LeRae sent a message to her saying, you know, Tiffany, sometimes some of us aren't just meant to make it as a singles competitor in this company. And we know Tiffany Stratton did not take that lightly, as she looks at the briefcase, and now we'll have to wait to see when Tiffany Stratton plans on cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase. And then next on Friday Night SmackDown, we would see Cody Rhodes as he comes out for an interview with Michael Cole as the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes would come out to the ring, and then Michael Cole would look to bring out Kevin Owens, but he would not show, as it looks like he stiffed this interview. And that's when we would see Cody Rhodes try to go on business as usual and be the professional that he is to conduct the interview, talking about with Michael Cole about Triple H giving him a gift that he can only use for one night only at Saturday night's main event. What could this be? But then Kevin Owens would interrupt this interview over the Videotron with another video from his vehicle, as he says, who cares about the golden boy Cody Rhodes? And Michael Cole, you claim to be an unbiased interviewee, so how about you ask the real questions? And why don't you ask Cody Rhodes how come he betrayed all of his friends after all of them helped him out to finish his story at WrestleMania, and then pretty much spit in all of his friends' faces when he teamed up with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood? And Kevin Owens would push it even further with the disrespect and the banter, as he would talk to Cody Rhodes, saying that he is just as bad of a friend as he is a son and a brother, and also go on to say that Cody Rhodes, you were way more interesting as Stardust. And man, big words coming from Kevin Owens, as Cody Rhodes would then cut the interview out and just go look for KO, as he's looking for a fight. But we would see as the WWE Undisputed Champion throws his title belt inside the ring, he would go backstage looking for Kevin Owens, but Owens would find him, as it was a sneak attack from Kevin as he was waiting for Cody Rhodes backstage, setting a trap, beating down the WWE Undisputed Champion, as the American Nightmare would go to fight back, and these two would brawl it out, attacking one another back and forth, with security getting involved and coming all the way back out to the ring, where this attack and this brawl would spill out over into. But then, as the security guards were trying to hold back Cody Rhodes, we would see Kevin Owens knock out the undisputed WWE Champion with the championship belt, as the American Nightmare laid knocked out in the middle of the ring. And Kevin Owens sends a huge statement to Cody Rhodes before Saturday night's main event tournament where we will see Kevin Owens go one-on-one with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed WWE Championship. Will Kevin Owens become the new champion, or will Cody Rhodes be able to get back at Kevin Owens after this brutal attack to end Friday Night Smackdown? This has been Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show review. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel and check out more WWE show reviews from Tim Reynolds Show, and more WWE content, more football content, and more sports entertainment right here on this sports entertainment, football loving channel, wrestling loving channel, Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, WWE Universe, for checking out this channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Peace out, everybody.